Hello, my name is Spencer Scruggs. I use he, him, his pronouns, and I am excited to bring to you all the ACPA 22 Program Reviewer Training. I currently serve as the ACPA 22 Program Reviewer Coordinator, and I also am coming to you all today from San Antonio, Texas, the ancestral homeland of the Jumanos, Tonkawa, Lipan Apache, and Colwell-Tekon people. And I am incredibly excited to present to you all our ACPA 22 Program Reviewer Training. Thank you all so much for volunteering your time to review program proposals for the ACPA 22 convention in St. Louis. We are incredibly excited to have you as a part of our team to build a meaningful and impactful experience in St. Louis. The following slides will assist you in understanding your role, the importance of serving as a program reviewer, and how to effectively review a convention program proposal. We would like to begin this reviewer training with a land acknowledgement. ACPA, College Student Educators International, is a leading comprehensive student affairs association that advances higher education and engages students for a lifetime of learning and discovery. Although serving an international audience, our membership is primarily from the United States, and our offices are headquartered in Washington, D.C. at the National Center for Higher Education. Related to our mission of supporting and fostering learning through the generation and dissemination of knowledge, ACPA acknowledges the painful history of genocide in the United States for Native, Aboriginal, and Indigenous peoples. We honor and respect the many and diverse tribal nations and peoples who were forcefully removed from, as well as those still connected to, this land. We particularly acknowledge and recognize that the land upon which our international headquarters is located today has long served as the site of meeting and exchange amongst a number of indigenous people, including the Akahanok, Pocomoke, Piscataway, Anacostink, Mattapanint, Nangmiek, Pamunkey, Toxahint, Nanticoke, Chickahominy, Monacan, Mattapony, Nansemond, Rappahannock, Anistohini, Unami, and Assateague tribal nations as the original occupants of the Washington, D.C. region. ACPA strongly advocates for higher education and student affairs professionals to honor the land, the original tribal occupants, and the history of the place where you are located. Further, we have a responsibility to continually self-educate, reflect, and listen to the histories and people in our areas, including tribal land acknowledgements and practice and understanding the acknowledging history, is not only respectful and educational, it is a justice-oriented advocacy necessary for continuing the work of dismantling the devastating effects of settler colonialism in our society. It is important that we acknowledge this history and maintain this consciousness as we review and select the programs for ACPA 22. Program reviewers are critical to creating a meaningful experience for attendees at ACPA 22. Each year, we receive hundreds of submissions, and the selection process of proposals addressing the array of topics and competency areas in student affairs and higher education would not be possible without the time and dedication of volunteer reviewers such as yourself. Serving as a program proposal reviewer is an excellent professional development opportunity, as well as an opportunity to give back to the profession. Part of your responsibility as a reviewer is supporting the collective growth and development of our colleagues in the field. Reviewers evaluate program proposals for ACPA 22 and also provide constructive feedback to the coordinating presenter. This feedback can support our colleagues' growth by strengthening the programs that are accepted and providing suggestions for future improvements for programs that are not selected. Your feedback has the potential to help shape our work for the upcoming convention and beyond. Whether this is your first time evaluating program proposals or if you have volunteered to do so for previous conventions, this session will provide you with information about your role as a reviewer, how to use the rubric to provide feedback, and how to log in to the reviewing platform eShow. First, however, we would like for you to hear from the ACPA22 Convention Chair, Dr. Jason Cottrell.
Greetings, ACPA. My name is Jason Cottrell, and I am the ACPA22 Convention Chair. I want to thank you for your interest in serving as a reviewer for the ACPA22 curriculum. The program review process is critical for setting the curriculum for the convention. Your reviews will ensure that attendees at ACPA22 learn about best practices, research, policy, and assessment through various session types. You will help set a diverse and inclusive curriculum that allows attendees to choose from several hundred sessions during their 3 days in St. Louis. Additionally, the program review process is an opportunity for you to learn about the great work being conducted in higher education and student affairs. For me, reviewing programs is as important to my professional development as attending sessions at convention. We hope this is a rewarding experience for you as well. As you will see, the review process has been redesigned slightly for ACPA22. Spencer, Jenny, and the entire ACPA22 program team has worked hard to improve how sessions are reviewed, scored, and selected. I want to thank the entire team for developing a rich process that will help both reviewers and presenters in understanding how we will build the ACPA22 curriculum. Again, thank you for your time and energy in reviewing the proposals that have been submitted by our colleagues. Your dedication to the profession will ensure that the future is bright and convention will be educational, professional, ethical, and rewarding. I'm so very excited for ACPA 22 and hope you will be able to join us in St. Louis, right where we're supposed to be.
As a program reviewer, you should have already received or will shortly receive an email from the ACPA 22 team sharing details about your assigned program reviews. You will be assigned up to 8 individual program proposals to review between September 21st and October 1st. Program proposals are matched with reviewers based on the competency areas and program topics indicated on the program proposal and the reviewer application. Each program proposal can receive reviews from up to 3 different reviewers, from which the composite score and overall impressions will be considered when selecting the final slate of programming for a convention. If you are assigned to any program proposals you believe you do not have the knowledge or experience to evaluate, or if you identify a conflict of interest, please notify the program team by email at conventionprograms@acpa.nche.edu so the program can be reassigned. Program reviewers are asked to have an intermediate or advanced skill level in accordance with the ACPA NASPA competencies for the proposals they are reviewing. Remember, you do not need to have a full understanding of a topic to review or provide meaningful feedback to a proposal. Sometimes a different perspective can be helpful, but reflect and maintain an awareness of your strengths and limitations as a reviewer. Further, while coordinating presenters are asked to remove identifying information from their proposal, it is possible you may be assigned a proposal and you can identify the presenters based on the information shared. If you receive a program proposal and you feel you are uncomfortable with this topic or too close to the presenters, the program team can reassign the program to another reviewer. Let's explore the mechanics of submitting the program review form. To coordinate the proposal review process, we will use eShow. eShow is an event management solution that ACPA 22 is using to assign program proposals to reviewers and for reviewers to submit their evaluations. In order to access your assigned submissions and submit your responses, you must log into the Reviewer Service Center in eShow. Please contact the program team with any accessibility needs to receive access to proposal reviews in a different format. To log into the ACPA22 Reviewer Service Center, you can follow the link in the email notification you will receive when proposals are assigned. You may also go to the direct link on this slide or access this site through the ACPA22 convention website at convention.myacpa.org. Put your cursor over the education link on the menu bar, then hover over to curriculum, and finally select Program Reviewer from the drop-down menu. You will find the direct link to the ACPA Reviewer Service Center on this page. To sign into the Review Service Center, you will enter the email you provided on your reviewer application and your password. Your password will be provided to you in the notification email you will receive when proposals are assigned. If you changed your password, you will enter the password you created to log in. If you forget your password, select the Forget Password link for assistance with resetting your password. After signing in, the next page has information about the reviewer process. At the bottom of the page, select the Please Click Here to Begin Reviewing Proposals link. On the review form page, you will have a list of all the proposals you are assigned to review at the bottom. To begin reviewing a specific proposal, select Review next to the title under the task column. A pop-up window containing all of the information submitted with a proposal will come up. Each criterion responds to the reviewer rubric, corresponds with the reviewer rubric, and requires a rating number on a scale of 0 to 3. Reviewers may leave comments to clarify their rating. This is an opportunity to provide constructive feedback and objective feedback for the coordinating presenter. Sharing recommendations for what to consider for future proposals is also very helpful. As a reminder, reviewers can consult the corresponding rubrics, either shown in the rubric form or at the links listed on this slide. Constructive feedback includes statements that identify the strengths and/or weaknesses of a proposal by providing information that will allow the presenters to improve the program if selected, or improve the proposal for future submissions. The feedback should be objective in that it directly relates to the program proposal content, and the reviewer maintains an awareness of their own competency with the given topic area. We especially emphasize trying to address each criterion. You should address each criterion when the proposal did not receive full points. Remember, one of your goals is to provide meaningful feedback, as it can help those who do not get selected in strengthening their submissions for a future convention, while also helping those who are accepted in strengthening their session for this year. The final piece of the review form is an assessment summary where you will indicate your overall assessment of the program proposal by indicating your evaluation of whether to recommend with reservations, or do not recommend the program proposal. There is a text box for you to offer your overall thoughts related to the evaluations of the proposal and the final recommendation. A response in this text box is required to provide summary feedback to the program team and the coordinating responders. Perhaps a program proposal you review receives a high score according to the rubric, but you have concerns about the inclusivity or the proposal. Maybe the proposal includes too much to fit within the time frame of a standard program. These are things you can describe in more detail using this final summary. Please note that after the review process is complete and the program team has made the final determination on the status of proposals, presenters will be notified of their proposal status of accepted, waitlisted, or declined, and will also receive the comments from the reviewers provided in the text boxes of the reviewer form. Once you have gone back to ensure your review includes your full thoughts on the proposal, you can submit the review by selecting Save. Should you need to return to your review to make edits or complete it, you may do so by selecting the date hyperlink next to the title under the task column. Ensure you scroll to the bottom and select Save to retain any changes you have made. All reviews must be complete by 11:59 EDT on October 1st, 2021. Everyone has a different focus when reviewing a proposal based on their own experiences, professional level, and other qualities like background knowledge. As a reviewer, you are asked to use the reviewer rubric when evaluating proposals that you review. Rubrics make assessing proposals efficient, consistent, and objective as possible. The reviewer rubric helps standardize the evaluation process by providing presenters and reviewers with a clear understanding of what is expected. Reviewers will use the rubric to evaluate the proposal on specific criteria. Each section of the rubric includes a criterion for evaluation as an explanation of that criterion, and evaluative descriptions with assigned point values from 0 to 3 in most cases. Reviewers are highly encouraged to consult each part of the rubric for the corresponding criterion they are evaluating for the individual program proposals they are assigned. Doing so ensures that assessing proposals is efficient, consistent, and objective as possible. To assist in finding the corresponding criterion on the proposal, the rubric indicates the section of the program proposal to look at in red font. There are two different program types at ACPA22 that you will be possibly reviewing. Two are together, general education sessions and pre-con proposals, and the other is scholarship sessions. General education sessions, including pre-cons, are reviewed on a set of 6 standard criterion: learning outcomes, relevance, sequence, time allotment, engagement, and synthesis and application of knowledge. Scholarship sessions are reviewed on a set of 3 standard criterion: objectives of scholarship, framework utilized, and literature, sources, methodology, or modality. All review criteria are given a score of 0 to 3. The benefit of such a scale is that it's quick and efficient. However, as with most Likert scales, there is a little room for subtlety. This is where you, as the reviewer, exercise your judgment in accordance with the reviewer rubric on how well each proposal meets the criteria upon which it's being evaluated. Additionally, you may notice additional criterion to evaluate based off the type of program or a special program track designated by the proposal author. Reviewers for general education sessions should pay attention to if the program proposal author has requested consideration for a special program track. Scholarship session reviewers should pay attention to criterion related to research and process, multimodal, and poster sessions or methods workshops if the proposal correlates with those session types. To streamline the reviewing process, reviewers are encouraged to elaborate on their scoring according to the rubric by using the provided text box at the end of the form. We ask that you share information on each criterion value to help the ACPA22 team determine the rationale behind each of your ratings. We encourage reviewers to share enough information that adequately encapsulates your thoughts around your ratings in a brief and concise manner as possible. Just as we bring a variety of personal and professional experiences into our daily work, we bring those same experiences and background into the review of programs for the annual convention. As program reviewers committed to building a convention experience centering attendees' experience, focusing on skill and knowledge, development as professionals, and advancing our collective work towards racial justice and decolonization. Recognizing and accounting for our own biases born from those experiences and backgrounds helps us critically construct a program slate that honors the diverse perspectives and voices, strengthening our field. At the center of our work is the commitment to equity and inclusion. As noted in our equity and inclusion statement, ACPA College Student Educators International actively promotes and recognizes principles of fairness, equity, and social justice in relation to and across intersections of race, age, color, disability, faith, religion, ancestry, national origin, citizenship, sex, sexual orientation, social class, economic class, ethnicity, gender identity, gender expression, and all other identities represented amongst our diverse membership. By appreciating the importance of inclusion, we acknowledge that the collective and individual talents, skills, and perspectives of members and constituent groups and partners fosters a culture of belonging, collective practice, innovation, and mutual respect. ACPA seeks to empower and engage professionals, scholars, and partners in actions that productively contribute to accomplishing the goals of our association. As a reviewer, it is important to keep this commitment as you review your assigned programs. To assist reviewers in recognizing and accounting for bias in their reviews, we encourage you to consider the following questions and reflect upon how your answers to these questions may influence your reviews. Please feel free to pause this video and give yourself a moment to answer each of these questions. What identities do you hold, and how have those identities influenced your professional socialization in higher education? What value do you place on certain narratives and perspectives of others in your work? What areas of your knowledge limit your capacity to review certain topics or program subjects? In what ways do your expectations and vision of a good program for convention contradict with the previously mentioned vision for ACPA 22? In addition to considering the biases we bring into the proposal review process, it is important to understand the impact of settler colonialism on the dissemination and valuing of knowledge shared during convention. As a part of ACPA's commitment in resources, energy, and time towards addressing racial justice and settler colonialism in student affairs and higher education around the world, the ACPA 22 team believes it is important for reviewers to consider the connection between this commitment and the different ways of knowing, being in, understanding the world that are present at convention. Reviewers are critical agents in ensuring narratives that depart from this pervasive colonial structure of our field are represented and honored at convention through the variety in the convention's educational programming slate. In early 2019, ACPA's International Office released a bold vision forward, a framework for the strategic imperative for racial justice and decolonization to membership. The goal of the document is to share the intentions of the strategic imperative for racial justice and decolonization and direct action toward the possibilities. Written by Stephen Quay, Rachel Aho, Melissa Beard, Jacob, Dre Domingue, Flo Guido, Alex Lang, Dion Square, and D.L. Stewart. This guiding document provides some context around critically questioning the knowledge we use. In addition to thoughtful consideration of language in our written and spoken word, as student affairs educators, in and out of the classroom, we must critically consider the knowledges we use in practice and research and the paradigms on which our assumptions for both activities are based. One example of questioning that the knowledges we use is based in the historical context of colonialism. Another way to question the knowledges we use is through citational audits and review of research practices found in the literature. Narratives, both personal and professional, are incredibly important to the convention experience and to ACPA's commitment to addressing racial justice and settler colonialism in student affairs and higher education around the world. Dr. Lee Patel, in her book, No Study Without Struggle, Confronting Settler Colonialism in Higher Education, explores the impact of honoring narratives in dismantling dominant settler perspectives and systems. Narratives don't just tell a story, they structure material realities. Despite so many facts to contrary, her story is testimony to the power of pervasive narratives that materially shape people's lives and life pathways. These narratives hold tremendous power even when they don't have a basis in reality, but rather in the specter of domination. The stories we tell about ourselves, our people, our nation, other people, and success or failure all have material force in the shape and functions that institutions perform in society. Because higher education is a key place where settler colonialism is conveyed, it would be a profound mistake to overlook the learning that happens beyond and with education that departs from settler principles of individualism. The ACPA22 Convention Planning Team welcomes you to critically evaluate how your own learning rooted in settler principles of individualism affects your perceptions on what constitutes an excellent program proposal and work towards honoring the narratives that depart from this pervasive colonial structure. To assist reviewers in unpacking how their own learning rooted in settler principles of individualism affects their role as a reviewer for the ACPA 22 convention, we encourage you to consider the following questions. Similarly, please feel free to pause your video and take a moment to critically answer each of these questions. How do you define your own way of knowing, being in, understanding the world? How does your way of knowing, being in, understanding the world align with the generally accepted paradigms of the field? In what ways might your own way of knowing, being in, understanding the world be limiting or paint only part of the picture? In comparison, how does the proposal author's way of knowing, being in, understanding the world provide an insightful or unique perspective on theory or practice in the field? And finally, what sources of knowledge, being in, understanding the world were centered in the proposal that aren't traditionally part of the narrative? What would these sources add to the convention education programming? In the convention review process, reviewers are asked to evaluate whether program proposals meet the association's standards for universal design. Universal design is an important tool to ensuring equitable participation and learning in convention programs. Reviewers are encouraged to consider how the program proposals they are reviewing are reflective of these principles. Compiled by the advocates of universal design in 1997 at the Center for Universal Design located at North Carolina State University. Equitable use. The design of the program does not disadvantage or stigmatize any group of users. Flexibility in use. The design of the program accommodates a wide variety and range of individual preferences and abilities. Simple and intuitive use. Use of the design is easy to understand regardless of the user's experience, knowledge, language skills, or current concentration level. Perceptible information. The design of the program communicates necessary information effectively to the user, regardless of ambient conditions or the user's sensory abilities. Tolerance for error. The design of the program minimizes hazards and the adverse consequences of accidental or unintended actions. Low physical effort. The design of the program can be used efficiently and comfortably and with a minimum of fatigue. Size and space for appropriate and use, for approach and use. Appropriate size and space is considered in the proposal for approach, reach, manipulation, and use, regardless of the user's body size, posture, or mobility. Reviewers can utilize a wealth of resources and suggestions provided by the ACPA22 team to ensure the reviewing process goes as smoothly as possible. Reviewers should review the convention rubrics in advance and familiarize themselves with what they should be looking for in the proposals. Reviewers also should review and consult the example proposals prior to and during your program review. Time can get away from us, and with the brevity of the review period, less than 2 weeks, it is critical reviewers complete their reviews in a timely manner. We encourage reviewers to set aside 30 minutes each day to complete at least one review, saving time and ensuring you finish all program reviews assigned to you. The ACPA22 Convention Planning Team is excited to offer an opportunity for support and resources for effective reviewing. Our coffee and a review sessions, happening at a variety of times each day during the review period, are intended to assist reviewers in their commitment to reviewing convention program proposals in a fun and inviting setting with colleagues. As a reviewer, we encourage you to block off some time on your calendar to attend one of these sessions each day and use that dedicated time to complete at least one review. An ACPA22 Convention Planning Team member will be there to answer any questions you may have and provide guidance if you need any on completing your reviews. Coffee and a review sessions will be offered on a daily basis, multiple times during the day to ensure those who would like to attend can attend. Sessions will be offered Monday, September 27th through Friday, October 1st at the times listed in your email correspondence. All sessions will use a passcode of ACPA22. We hope you will join us at one of our coffee and a review sessions. And as a note, we are offering all opportunities, including for our international colleagues as well. For additional resources to prepare you for your role as a reviewer, please visit the ACPA22 Reviewer Resources page linked on the ACPA22 Convention website, including ACPA's Equity and Inclusion Statement, ACPA's Strategic Imperative for Racial Justice and Decolonization, information about the Principles of Universal Design, and the ACPA NASPA Professional Competency Areas for Student Affairs Educators. Thank you so much for your time and dedication to serving the ACPA community as a program reviewer. ACPA22 will be a success because of the efforts of volunteers like yourself. We can't wait to see you at ACPA22, right where we belong.